Oh, they're crapping their pants in Washington right now. The intelligence community, the deep state, they are upset. The Senate just confirmed Tulsi Gabbard to head up the DNI. And President Trump, just a few moments ago, here it was, just a few moments ago, officially getting her sworn in.
Thank you very much. And today, we're delighted to swear in our next Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Most of you know Tulsi. She's a fantastic woman. Tulsi, I want to just congratulate you, your husband, Abraham, your sister, and all of your friends. A lot of friends here. You have a lot of friends. I noticed that, huh?
I'm grateful.
They were all fighting for you. It worked out very well. Tulsi Gabbard's an American of extraordinary courage and exceptional patriotism.
Yeah. Actually having someone who has gone to Syria and gone to these battle zones and notices like what the United States does to wreak havoc around the world, to carry out regime change operations in Syria, and she's called it out. You know, this is exactly who we need, not some sycophantic, military industrial complex patsy who's going to be just funneling more money for regime change operations around the world. One of the big things she said that she wants to do as head of DNI is to realign the intelligence state in the United States. You know, there's 18 intelligence departments, the CIA, NRO. I mean, she's going to be in charge of 18 of them. So that every morning she has to go and put...
she's devoted her entire life to public service. And
Presidential Daily Brief.
For years on different shows and everything. I said, she's a woman of great common sense. And, we like the common sense. It's a word that's being used a lot. I think we started it in terms of politics, but it's a word that's used a lot. It's usually pretty effective, too. And you really are. I've watched you, even on Larry King. You're very young. I don't know how you were Larry King, but you're very young. But you were, and you always had the situation covered properly. At 21 years old, Tulsi became the youngest woman ever elected to the Hawaii State Legislature. After 9/11, she joined the Hawaii Army National Guard and deployed abroad 3 times and highly respected by everybody. So many people writing in letters saying she was so exceptional even then. She continues to serve as a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, and Tulsi also served 4 terms in the United States House of Representatives, where she was a member of the House Armed Services Committee. She is a former vice chair of the National Democratic Party. Can you believe that? And here she is. That's very nice. We have a few of them. But she was never a Democrat. She was at home.
You know what's hilarious, too, is that you had Bernie Sanders, what a hack, he came out against her and voted against her. And here she stood and supported Bernie Sanders. She gave when she no longer moved forward with the presidential nomination, she stepped aside. She basically endorsed Bernie Sanders. And it's amazing. What a backstabbing son of a bitch that guy is. What a piece of garbage that guy is. Couldn't come out and vote for Tulsi because you have to put party first, right? This just goes to show you, like, here is a woman who has stood against the deep state, stood against these intelligence communities who've been weaponized against Americans. The CIA, NSA, spying on Americans. I mean, she stood up and supported Edward Snowden. So are we about to see a pardon for Edward Snowden? Anyway, it's just amazing. Bernie Sanders, you're a piece of garbage.
Heart. She was a Republican. I watched her, and was a 2020 Democrat candidate for president of the United States. It's not easy, right? It's not so easy. People think it's easy. It's not easy. Throughout her service, Tulsi has always distinguished herself as a leader of the highest caliber. She's earned the respect and admiration and love of Americans on both sides of the aisle as her profound commitment to the values that keep us free, and she really does have those values as much as anybody. In recent years, Tulsi has been a courageous and often lonely voice speaking out against radical left's attacks on free speech and the dangers of an unelected deep state.
Yeah, and when she was running for president, Google teamed up with the Democrats, basically silenced her campaign website. So after the debate performance, her campaign found that the website was down. It was basically hidden by Google. Isn't that amazing? Like, or I'm sorry, Google's ads. They were running Google ads, and Google shut them down. I mean, talk about the Democratic influence, and we know the cozy relationship with Google and the CIA. They shut her down, and now she's going to be in charge of them. I just love it. I love it. I mean, remember, Google started, right, as a result of a CIA contract, right? So, I just love it. I love it.
And I have to say, she was very, very strong for me when I was going through all of the fake news and all of the problems that we had with some very sick people. She was always out there. Before I really knew her as well, she was out there defending me, so I appreciated that, Tulsi. But the threat of a warmongering military-industrial complex and the weaponization of government and governmental people that go out and persecute. They like to persecute people that are innocent. Tulsi herself became a target of that weaponization when she was outrageously placed on a suspected terrorist watch list by the Biden regime. It's a very evil regime after criticizing their appalling abuses of power. And I'm confident that as director of the National Intelligence, Tulsi will work tirelessly to keep America safe. And she's been doing that her entire career. I think it's going to be a very natural day for you when you walk in. It's just have to keep the way you are. Just stay the way you are. She'll be clear-eyed and she'll be focused on the threat of radical Islamic terrorism and lots of other threats, too, threats from within, and give no quarter to America's foreign enemies. At the same time, I'm entrusting Tulsi with the responsibility of overseeing urgently needed reforms to the U.S. intelligence community to protect the rights and the civil liberties of all Americans.
There's a hatchet job about to come here. She's going to lay waste to some of these bureaucrats and these when we talk about the deep state, it's just the permanent government. It's these people who are there permanently. They're entrenched, and they don't care who the elected officials are, but they're about to. Because they're about to be tossed out. You already see what's happening at the FBI. And once Kash Patel gets in there, of course, his is Thursday, look out. The team up right now, you saw what Pam Bondi did today, went after Letitia James. And the deep state crooks who have been weaponizing the Department of Justice to go after President Trump and others and Americans, like it's over. And putting illegal aliens first before Americans, look out.
Provide the American people with transparency, eliminate corruption, shrink the bloated bureaucracy, and restore honesty, integrity, and trust to the national security state. There's only one thing I can say, that there's nobody like her for this job. This was a very easy one for me. She was recommended by some of the top people in that world. It's a little world, it's a little smart world. It sometimes can be an evil world when the wrong people are there, but we have the right one. She's had so many great recommendations. I would say Pam was right up there with her, Pam Bondi. She had a lot. I know her a little bit better, and you're doing a fantastic job after about 3 or 4 days, right?
Yeah, so Pam Bondi recommended her. So did I know personally that Tucker Carlson also was a huge fan of Tulsi Gabbard and had the president's ear on this. I know that Roger Stone, who's a close personal friend of President Trump, also was instrumental in that, and Robert F. Kennedy, who also. But there was a lot of people who were in that group that said, put Tulsi Gabbard in there. She'll clean house.
You've had a lot of experience, but you've never seen anything like this, Pam. But you're going to do fantastic as the Attorney General, fantastic. So thank you and congratulations. We did this with Pam a few days ago, and this is, again, my honor. So congratulations to Tulsi, and I think Pam is going to administer the oath, and when she does that, I'll sign your new certificate. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wow. What a day. I thought she was going to get pushed out. I really thought the senators were going to scuttle her nomination. There's Pam Bondi.
Please place your left hand on the Constitution and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I, Tulsi Gabbard, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
Which she always has
against all
done.
enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
Which she's always
and that I
done.
will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Pam Bondi, great woman, a friend of mine. The Attorney General, formerly of Florida, now the Attorney General of the United States. She's an amazing woman. And there's Tulsi.
How's the Oval Office looking? A little different look, right? It's the Oval Office.
Here comes the signing. You know, it's amazing to think so. She's the head of 18 different agencies. She'll also daily write the presidential daily brief, which will be given to the president. So it'll sort of inform what's happening, and hopefully it'll be free of the sort of regime change operations that we've had over the years. Again, having her go to Syria and see the lies that have been told about Assad, and now ISIS is essentially running Syria. To have her put the presidential daily brief together of what are the intelligence assessment of what's happening and making sure that it's not being weaponized against Americans, like that Catholics are somehow the major threat to the United States, which is what, going to Catholic prayer meetings and spying on Americans. Hopefully this day is in, and I'm hoping that we'll see a pardon for Edward Snowden. So congratulations. I am thrilled that Tulsi Gabbard is now head of the DNI. There we go. Way to go, Tulsi. Here's the hard truth. Our government is not responsible for your retirement. You are. With over $1 trillion in interest payments, the government is borrowing money just to pay the interest. This isn't going to change. The financial system is under a pressure that it cannot sustain. Trust me, I have high hopes for Trump and America, I sure do. But if you think someone else is going to step in and secure your retirement, you're living in a dangerous fantasy world. You have to take control. You have to get educated. You have to be prepared. Because if you don't, you will face the consequences. This isn't just about fear, it's about reality. If you're not making moves to protect and prepare yourself, you're leaving your retirement to chance. Hope isn't a strategy, it's time to act, and it's time to get educated. So if you don't already know about a self-directed IRA, I strongly recommend you call my friends at Lear Capital to learn more. Here's their phone number on your screen, 1-800-450-1008, or go to learmorris.com. There's no obligation, just free information. A self-directed IRA is the savings protection of choice for those seeking greater control over their investments during this unprecedented age of debt. I have a self-directed IRA and I love it because it allows me to invest my hard-earned retirement into my assets of choice, not something that Wall Street controls. I can invest in hard assets like physical gold and silver and real estate. And Lear specializes in helping people like me and you protect and grow retirement savings with physical precious metals. They've been doing this for almost 30 years. They know their stuff. So give Lear a call today. It's easy to open your account or roll over your existing IRA or your 401k. They do it all for you. And the best part, it's tax-free and penalty-free. So call 1-800-450-1008. That's 1-800-450-1008. Or go to learmorris.com. You'll be glad you did.